Eastern meditation practices have centered on the concept of self-realization and self-knowledge as the ultimate, even as a way to enlightenment. Knowing ourselves is something that we can go through our whole lives without really doing. In the first formative years of our lives, we gather a sense of self based on the grown-ups in our lives and their validation of our experience and existence. Unfortunately, for many of us, our grown-ups were imperfect and often harmful to the development of our senses of self. Some of us have found chosen family in people who do validate our experiences. Having agency as adults gives us the freedom to make more choices about who we include in our lives. This is also a tough reality for those of us who are parents, knowing that how we respond to the emotions of our young children will influence their senses of self. Luckily, our sense of self is always changing. It is always in formation and never stagnant, even as we grow late into our years. And repair work is often key, and it's not often, it is key to dealing with these imperfections we take with us into everyday interactions. I cannot tell you how many times I have apologized to my children because my messiness did not affirm their worth in a particular moment. Reparations matter, and reparations are hard to make when we do not regularly reflect on ourselves and our actions, and when we do not have the humility to admit our wrongs. Erik Erikson, a 20th century psychoanalyst specializing in children, developed a framework of the 8 stages of human development. He claims that we have an ego identity, which is the conscious sense of self that we develop through social interaction, which is constantly changing due to new experiences and information we acquire in our daily interactions with others. Our friends, coworkers, neighbors, congregants, strangers. Knowing ourselves is not a simple act of navel-gazing, an inward focus in a vacuum. We cannot do this important, easy-to-avoid work in isolation. We need each other for reflection, for grounding, for validation, for conflict from which we can learn and grow. Small group ministry, like the soul circles we have here, are a wonderful way to practice this. And if you are not in a small group or in a soul circle, we are doing a Taste of Soul on August 23rd after service. This is a plug for that. It is a wonderful thing to take part of, and we got our group leaders here. So Denise, Michael, and Mary, thank you for doing that wonderful work. It is important and good. We need to trust ourselves, and we cannot really do that if we do not have a good sense of who we are, where we come from, to whom we belong, and why we behave or react to things the way that we do. The UUA has no small requirement for those of us who have sought and are seeking to be ministers. On top of an 81-credit master's degree in divinity, a 1-year full-time or 2-year half-time internship, and a career assessment, the UUA also requires at least 1 unit of CPE, which is clinical pastoral education, or a chaplaincy internship. And CPE is life-changing work. It's incredibly difficult training that makes us face ourselves honestly in conversation with others who are also training to be spiritual leaders. People who often face fallout and burnout and need to learn how to protect ourselves from it. We have to be able to differentiate ourselves from the problems that people bring to us and recognize when something is batting up against something within ourselves from our own lives and identities. It is exceptionally important that spiritual caregivers know how to do this, but can you imagine a world where what it would look like, where we all are a little bit more aware of ourselves, capable of facing the bitter truths behind the way we behave and react when we come up against certain things, where we know ourselves. That's power. One of my greatest takeaways from CPE is that there are myths we have each been raised with that influence the way we react and behave. In a book by Edward Wimberly titled Recalling Our Own Stories, Spiritual Renewal for Religious Caregivers, he explores personal myths that rooted in object relations theory, self-psychology, and family systems theory. These myths are based on the stories that surround our births, our birth order, our gender, our sex, our names, our nicknames, peer and sibling relationships, the relationships our parents had, the discipline we received, the roles we filled, and so much more. Wimberly goes on to illustrate a few dominant myths that he witnessed to those he teaches and pastors. As I go through these, try to think about which of these might apply to your life. The myth of rejection, the belief that you are unwanted, even unwelcome in life. The myth of powerlessness, the belief that other people have more power and control over our lives than we do. The myth of the loner, a belief that the world is untrustworthy and fears getting emotionally close, being hurt or disappointed. The myth of the good girl, a belief that you as a female must be subservient, acquiescent, obedient, and overly responsible for the emotional care and relationships in your life. The myth of invulnerability, the belief that vulnerability is a weakness to be avoided at all costs for the sake of success, production, and achievement. The myth of sole responsibility, the belief that what happens in life solely depends on us. The myth of self-sacrifice or unlovability, the belief that we will only be loved if we hide our true selves. The myth of the savior, the belief that our role in life is to bring peace and stability. This is a common one for ministers. The myth of aloofness, the belief that we are inept at close relationships. These are just a few. There are so many nuanced myths that we carry with us, unique to our experiences. These are complicated, delicate, and so hard to face. It makes me think of the never-ending story. Have you all seen the never-ending story? Right. It's Jeff and Philip, yes. Wonderful. And everyone else who's seen it, awesome. And if you haven't, that's fine too. But Atreyu is a brave young warrior set out as the only hope to save his world from the nothing. He faces a number of trials, one of which is facing himself. An older gnome guy he meets on his adventures says to him, "Confronted with their true selves, most men run away screaming." I'd add that women do too, and gender diverse people do too. It is psychologically hard work. Being aware of our own myths is crucial towards understanding ourselves and why we do the things we do and feel the way we feel. And when we face these myths, we can begin to re-author them. Write new stories that we claim for ourselves. This is profoundly difficult work, but it gives us power to know what we will accept as ours and what we can let others keep for themselves. Can you imagine a world in which we know our own worth and uniqueness in relationship with everyone else's worth and uniqueness? We belong to ourselves, We are individuals, whole and holy, with our own unique experiences and upbringings, with the myths that shape us, and the many different ways we think and feel, appreciate, and care. And we belong to each other. We are here together in this interdependent web of all existence, a people of the earth, evolved and evolving. And in this worldwide family system, with anxiety sky high, incomprehensible wars, siblings thousands of miles away killing each other, starving each other, hating each other, and dependent role of the USA has played on the world stage in the past, maybe giving us as a country the myth of the savior, is changing and experiencing a crisis of our own. It is important we know ourselves as individuals, as Americans, as members of this faith community. Knowing who we are, facing truths from our histories, knowing what is important to us, strengthens us, empowers us, and transforms us. We can rewrite anything we want as we move forward. We are the authors. Knowing ourselves will transform us, and transformed people transform the world, little by little. Small, impactful, thoughtful acts of love and justice. That is, I think, the best way to bring about the hopeful future that we envision, the one where there is no hatred, where no one has their back up against a wall, where all people can flourish on a healthy and thriving planet. And transformation is power to the people. And like Prometheus taught us, people with power is a threat to a god or someone wanting to be a god.
Our next hymn is number 318 in your gray hymnals. I invite you to stand as you are willing and able and join me in singing "We Would Be One." We would be one, as now we join in singing our hymn of love, to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow, a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free. Thank you.
As we prepare to conclude our service, you are invited to reach out your hands and hearts into the space of this community to join in a virtual circle inclusive of all. First, let us extinguish our chalice while we carry forth its light in our hearts. Please join us in our covenant. This congregation is dedicated to the proposition that behind all of our differences and beneath all of our diversities, there is a unity that binds us together and makes us one, in spite of time and death and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity.
My friends, may we know we are unique and precious, worthy of love and care. May we get to know ourselves better, a worthy action, never determining we are done learning or growing. May we know ourselves so we may walk more peaceably on this earth that we share with so many, making this world a more loving place.
I have just a few announcements. This is a last reminder. Join us on Friday, August 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. for an evening of good food, meaningful connection, and shared visioning with Reverend Cara and Reverend Tyler Coles as we begin a new church year together. Please RSVP for this event. The Sign Up Genius link is available in Illuminate, or you can scan the QR code on the flyers at the back of the sanctuary and let us know that you're coming. And if you want to, sign up to bring a dish, dessert, or beverage to share. We do hope you'll join us for this important evening in the life of our congregation. The parent meeting following worship on Sunday, August 16th has been rescheduled to Sunday, September 13th, the same day as in-gathering. We will be discussing plans for religious education for children and for family support and programming. Have you been interested in deepening your spiritual practice or learning more about them? We want to connect in a small group format with other folks to grow together. Check out A Taste of Soul after service on Sunday, August 23rd, where you can participate in a one-shot session of our Soul Matters groups and see how you like it. Groups will be forming shortly after this session. And the Date with Death Club will have its second session, Good Life, Good Death, the topic that was chosen by the first attendees, on Wednesday, August 26th at 1:30 p.m. You do not have to have been in the first session, nor do you have to commit to the whole series. We hope to see you there. And lastly, after service today, we'll have a meeting about or discussion about the results of the recent survey that was taken. And Jack, do you want to say anything more about that? Or?
We'll be in around 11:30 to give time for people to socialize and have refreshments. And it will last about an hour, hour and 15 minutes. And despite not having the internet, we will still hold the meeting because despite the fact that we are sharing the results, the main focus of this gathering is your response to the results of the survey. We want to get feedback from you. Even though the survey gave us some feedback, we wanted to drill down on that. So again, it's an open discussion. You're all welcome to join us beginning at 11:30.
Thank you, Jack.
Our closing hymn is Answering the Call of Love. I forgot to put the number in because I was just going to use the things, but it is. Thank you. 1014. Joan gets the prize for finding the number the quickest. As you can see, the title used to be Standing on the Side of Love. Jason Shelton had requested a lyric change quite a while ago. So if your book does not have the changes, anytime it says Standing on the Side of Love, we are changing that to Answering the Call of. Hopefully you'll pick up. It's a catchy tune. They did. Stand as you are willing and able. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. This isn't my recording. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love. Thank you so much. As a reminder, tell your friends, no Zoom. Go enjoy some refreshments, and then join us for a meeting. It's a very dramatic ending. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. I was like, that's not my recording. We did it. Nice work.
Oh, right.
You streamed the last half? But we just can't leave our internet, unfortunately.
Yeah, all right.
We can't leave it for the meeting.
So it was the Starlink that connected, all right.
Starlink. Oh, is it ours?
Yeah, it's in my.
Oh, never mind. Joe, yeah.
We did it, John. Yes. Yeah.